Hey, what's up, you guys? Welcome
up?
to Not Your Typical Podcast, Not Your Typical Recruiters Podcast, where we our conversations everything about travel nursing.
That's right.
I'm Karen.
And I'm Jason. And we have a special guest today. Her name is Liane. And we are
Hi,
here
everybody.
to dive into a lot of things that we do in regards to travel nursing and healthcare travel. And Liane is a travel nurse, and she's going to shine some light on a lot of things from the nursing perspective.
She's gonna talk a lot.
Yeah.
More than just
we're gonna get her to
travel.
open up.
More than shine the light. You want me to give you dirt.
Yeah. We want to find out, what's on the other side.
You're being so proper right now. You're like,
I
I
am.
know what you want. You want the dirt.
So you guys, we don't bring just any travel nurse. We're bringing like a veteran.
Veteran. OG.
And Nurse Liane has been with us for 8 years at Epic Travel Staffing.
Yeah.
So,
I don't even think I realized that until you told me that today.
I mean, time goes by fast when you're having fun.
This is true, especially someone like Liane who's been having a lot of fun.
Who just got back from
I just got back from Rio.
doing what?
I was rock climbing in Rio. September was my birthday month, so I actually
Nice.
first part of the month I went to Fiji to go surfing, and then I came
Man.
back and I worked 4 shifts, and then I went to Rio
Right.
for like 10 days.
Wow.
And I went rock climbing. I don't know if any of you listeners
so
out there are
jealous.
familiar with rock climbing. I went to, or even to Rio, familiar with Rio. I went to Sugarloaf, climbed Sugarloaf, and I climbed up to the foot of the Christ.
Oh, wow.
I know.
You got that far?
And she got, oh man, we should have shared some pictures.
Yeah,
On here.
maybe you can insert some pictures.
Yeah.
But yeah, it
Wow.
was there were a couple moments where I definitely was like doing a pulse check, like, oh, what am I doing? But I was
Oh,
like,
my God.
by then I was more than halfway up, and I was like, well, buy the ticket, ride the ride. You got halfway here, you gotta finish it.
There was a picture that she showed me that she was above the clouds.
Yeah,
And you climbed that, like with
Yeah.
your hands and.
with
All
my
right.
hands and feet. I after I was done with the second climb, which is Sugarloaf, it was an 800-foot climb, 5 pitches, 5 very long pitches. It's actually supposed to be 9 pitches, but our guide shoved it all into 5 pitches. So they're
my
very
God.
long
Wow.
climbs. And got to the top, and it was so amazing. It felt like so worth it because everybody normally just takes the gondola up. So like you
That
get
would
to
have
the
been me.
top.
Yeah, for sure.
I wouldn't be taking the gondola. I'm too scared.
You get to the top and you're like, I fucking earned this. Sorry, can I swear? I swore.
No, you can.
Okay.
You can.
I was like,
Real-
I fucking earned
real-
this view.
We keep it real here.
Okay.
You earned it. Okay.
Let's rewind a little bit.
Oh, sorry.
No, that's great. No, but let's rewind just a bit because we want to hear where this all started.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, go back. I mean, 8 years, I guess. I mean,
To the beginning?
Well, for how many
the beginning. Back to the
years
beginning.
of experience have you been as a nurse?
This year makes 20.
Whoa.
Yeah. I know. I'm gonna
Don't
fake.
guess her age.
Wait a minute.
Yeah, I graduated in 2003,
Wow.
and then I started working pretty much right away.
Saving lives for that long? That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah. And I will say, I worked as a staff nurse for 2 years.
Okay.
And then I actually did work and do a travel assignment for another company, which shall not be named. I think I did like 2 assignments, and that's what brought me into California. And then I kind of like didn't leave.
Yeah.
Didn't
But
leave.
then I didn't leave, but I went on staff for a bit. And then I guess it was 8 years ago. Actually, maybe it was 9. I decided to quit.
Quit your staff job?
Yeah.
Okay.
Why?
I was burnt out, for sure. I was working as a transplant coordinator, and I was taking call, and it was like, I was making good money, but I just couldn't enjoy my life. I had no time to enjoy my life. And I actually remember like having a conversation with you about it, and just actually not just one conversation, but like several conversations.
Yeah.
I took
Definitely more than a few.
Yeah.
And fast forward to present.
I took a sabbatical.
You're climbing up Rock climbing up to Jesus.
Yeah.
In Brazil.
To touch Jesus' feet. No. I took a
wild.
sabbatical, and then after
I
a few
forgot
months,
about that.
yeah,
You took a sabbatical.
I took a sabbatical. I was smart about it.
Wasn't that when you went to Africa and went surfing all over the world?
I don't think it was Africa, but I did go and do a lot of surfing, and I did do a lot of traveling.
Okay.
And then I just like did nothing for a little bit. Kind of mentally recovered, and then you were like, "Don't you want to try to travel nursing?" And I was like, I don't know, but I know I need to look for a job and make money soon." And then you kept like emailing me these like
Look at
job
this-
descriptions and
look at this
like
pay package.
pay package. That's what it was. You kept like emailing me these pay packages, and you're like, "Why don't you just try one assignment? Just try it and see how you like it." And I think the onboarding process was so much more streamlined than it had been years before.
Okay.
Because
okay.
everything was online, even if this was 8 years ago. But when I originally did travel nursing, it was like 18 years ago, right? Like 17 or 18 years ago.
So it was
Everything
in
was by
paper.
fax.
Oh wow.
Yes.
What? Oh,
Yes.
facts?
You send
Yes.
a message in a bottle.
Yeah, literally.
Dinosaur drop off your lab work.
Yes.
All right.
They're like, "I'm mailing you a package, a contract," and then you sign it, and then you put it in the mail back, or you fax it.
Oh my
But then
God.
you'd have to like go to a place that has a fax and pay to fax. You know what I mean?
Faxing is what my parents did a lot.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm showing
oh
my
my
age for
gosh,
sure
like,
when I talk
A
about fax
long
machines.
time ago.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
But yeah, it was so easy. The
Still got a
process was
resume on a
just
typewriter.
right?
I know how to use one.
So what's your specialty? You haven't mentioned that yet.
Yeah, so I do pediatrics and then I do PACU.
Okay. And how long, how did you even transition from peds to PACU?
So I think it was actually after.
Was there like cross training or?
Well, I have experience in like same day surgery recovery.
Okay.
So
Very helpful.
I think after COVID, I was doing peds, and it was like a weird time after COVID. Pediatric contracts were being canceled left and right.
Yeah.
I fortunately had like good standing at the hospital I was at, and they let me finish out my contract. Although all the nurses that the travel nurses that I was working with were all like cut. And then at the end, this hospital recruited me. I worked for them, but I worked night shift, and I was like, I was being bullied.
You're being bullied.
Yes, I was being bullied by one particular, like, charge nurse or whatever you call it.
What did she do?
Charge.
Explain
I don't know if it was a
this.
charge nurse. It was more like an educator or one of the main leads of the nurses there.
Karen didn't beat her up.
Oh, I wish. But this woman was pretty spicy with her words, and I was like, I don't know if I have, like, the emotional like fortitude to endure this.
Wow.
I ended up getting an offer to manage like a same day surgery kind of suite.
Mm-hmm.
Went there, so I left my full time that I'd taken, which was night shift, and it was terrible because during COVID, like, the end of the year, and the end of summer, and everybody was renovating. You remember? So there was like constant construction everywhere, and I couldn't sleep. Got recruited to be this manager, went to be this manager. This little surgery center was kind of crazy. They ended up firing the director of nursing right before I got there, and the director of nursing was the one who brought me in. The head guy was like, I was like, oh man, he must be taking Paxil, because there were some days when I think he forgot to take his Paxil.
Oh my God.
Uh-oh.
And then the COO or something, or CFO, had never managed any kind of healthcare facility ever. And I was like, what am I doing here? I gotta leave. I left. And then I was like, I'm coming back. Because I had already been maybe travel nursing for like 3 years, 3 or 4 years. Well, it must have been 4 years once the pandemic hit.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was my little thing. And then when I came back, because Pete's positions were like, at that point in time, I think it was the next year, it was kind of slowly picking up, but Pete's contracts for the new year weren't really like hot.
Right.
And then you were like, don't you have like surgery background?
PACU experience.
I was like, same day surgery. She's like, she was like, we need to lean into that. And I was like, okay, I'm going to trust Karen Lay.
And in all honesty, that was like the smartest move for Nurse Liane, for sure. I have to say.
Yeah.
So, and you're at a great contract. She's still on contract in PACU, and she's really happy.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I mean,
How'd you get out of the bullying situation? Because we never got to that.
I just left because the bullying situation happened at the pediatric hospital that I was at, where I finished my contract, and then they wanted to hire me full time. And then once I realized like this woman, I was like, oh, I cannot work with this woman. It's like not good for my like
mental health.
Mental health. It was not good. I was like, I don't even know if she's aware, but I wasn't about to try to make the effort to bridge that.
See,
Plus, it was night shift, and I was like, ooh, I don't.
It was more
sorry,
like
night shifters. I know you guys are out there, and I love the work that you do, and I really respect you. I just can't sleep like that anymore because I'm old. I don't look it, but I'm old.
Okay, question. So, I mean, now today, you've been a travel nurse for 8 years. I mean, what are some of the benefits that you've seen in your life through travel nursing?
I think I would have to say, just to be honest, it's time. Like, I know a lot of people think travel nursing for the money, which is true. But I also was doing travel nursing before the pandemic. And when you think about it, like when I thought about it, if I averaged my hourly pay, I was pretty much making the same as a staff nurse. I just had more time because I would work in spurts, maybe 3 months and extend, and then maybe have like a month off and come back and work 3 months, extend another 3 months, So
time
for
and
me,
freedom,
it was
probably.
time and freedom.
And that's what you feel like you value the most.
Yeah, I value that the most. I mean, I love money too. Who doesn't? But but for me, it was mostly about time and freedom. So I think that was a huge benefit. It allowed me to spend more time with my family, go on a lot of traveling journeys. I think I traveled more in the last 8 years than I have for at least the 10 years that I was a staff nurse.
Yeah.
Did a lot more international traveling.
That's basically because of your decision
Yeah,
to go
I think so.
to be a travel nurse. Do you think you could do the same amount of traveling and go to the places you've been if you were just stayed staff anywhere?
I think it would be really hard. Because even now, like this year, I traveled so much, and I don't think any manager would have been okay with the amount of time I took off.
Yeah, so if you're listening, don't try to go get that amount of time off to go to Fiji to go surfing and then go rock climbing.
Yeah, it wasn't, because it wasn't just that. It was like
right after.
January, I went to Tulum for a week. March, I went to Vietnam for almost 10 days for a wedding. In the summer, I went to Paris, Italy, and Amsterdam almost for 2 weeks. Then I went to Fiji. Then I went to Rio.
Okay, so I counted I think about 10 countries in 1 year. And she's been with us for 8 years. So my question for you is, how many countries have you traveled to since you became a travel nurse?
Oh, I think I lost count. But
I lost count just this
yeah.
year.
Yeah, okay, let's try to
She's
do
all
it
over
really
the place.
fast.
Awesome.
By continent.
Okay.
Okay,
She
South
doesn't own a
America,
plane.
Peru,
surprised.
Brazil. I went to Machu Picchu and I went to Rio. Let's see, Africa. I've been to South Africa, Europe.
Okay.
Oh my God.
Let's just name all the countries.
France, Italy, Germany, Netherlands. I've been to Norway, Sweden, and Denmark.
Iceland.
Oh my gosh, Iceland. I forgot about that.
Wow, forgot about Iceland.
Let's see. In Asia,
Japan.
Vietnam, Philippines, Indonesia. And then you can add the Maldives for surfing. And then you can add Fiji ×3 for surfing.
Wow.
You guys,
Man.
you make me want to become a nurse so I can be
Wow.
a travel nurse.
Definitely have learned the art of packing and packing well.
She does pack very
We actually
well.
are going to
Very
cover
efficient.
that. We're going to cover exactly what you suggest. What are some pointers you would give to a brand new traveler who's trying to go to their very first assignment and they're getting ready to pack their stuff from their home and move it to a
That's a
place
great
where they're
question.
staying? What would you say is the amount of clothes and stuff that they should bring with them?
Yeah. I mean, I guess it depends on your personality. I'm more of a I'm more of a minimalist. Not a true minimalist, but I like to just like pare things down. So, but especially for a woman, you have that one favorite pair of black heels because black goes with everything, or whatever color you want, but make sure it goes with all your outfits. Obviously, try to take things that are lighter. I would just do like, if you're just traveling from city to city to start, like I would just do toiletries enough in a carry-on bag kind of size. And then when you get there, then you can buy all your essentials. It's just, you don't want all that weight, especially if
Right.
you're going to drive or you're going to fly. You can buy that shampoo, at the Target when you get there, or wherever your favorite drugstore is.
Right.
Or just have it, or delivered by Amazon or whatnot. But yeah, I try to keep it light, keep it to the essentials. In the words of what's her name, Marie Kondo, like things that bring you joy and happiness,
yeah.
because you need those little mementos or those little trinkets to just like remind you of home or make you feel at home.
That's good.
But yeah, I think for me, I'm like I think when it comes down to it's like talking about food and stuff. A lot of nurses, I know a lot of other travel nurses who like to just do like meal programs or like pre-prepped meal programs. I'm not one of those. I like to prep my own stuff, but yeah, just buy all that when you get there.
Right.
Speaking of food, I have a big question because you've been to all of these countries.
It's true.
Who has the best food out of all the
That's
places
hard.
that you've gone to?
Jason,
That's
Come on,
hard.
I want to
Come on,
hear it.
man.
You know me, I
No,
like
that's
to
too
eat,
hard.
so
It's
I
like-
want to hear this one. I gotta hear this one.
Okay, break it down to continent. Like Asia, you got Europe, you got
Even
South
that's
America.
hard. Even that's hard. Okay, so I lived in Italy for a year. Wait, I didn't. we can talk about.
We'll
that.
talk about that another time.
Okay, I got a better. All right, I'm gonna change the question. Okay, so I'm paraphrasing for you. Here we go. So we're hopping on a plane
Okay.
and we're all hungry.
Yeah.
Where are we going?
Oh, I already know what she's gonna
Oh.
say.
You do?
You probably say no.
It's
I
me,
won't say
you,
it.
Karen.
No, you
some of
you
the
go
friends.
go answer.
Okay, this is not because I'm Asian, but let's go to Japan and eat some like really good sushi.
Okay.
I thought
Or
okay, so I thought she was
second-
gonna say Italy.
Yeah, second best. Like, it's,
Like really good, like
the other
pasta
option
or-
is Italy,
Yeah.
because I lived there for a year, almost a year. Man, the food quality is so good. The quality of their vegetables, the quality of their meats, the quality of their dairy.
She would not stop talking about tomatoes.
Oh my God, tomatoes. Now I've been back in the States, I'm just like, okay, tomatoes. But I swear, there's such a huge difference in tomatoes. And now I know why Italians are so snobby about eating in the States. I get it. I totally get it. You can go to the grocery store, like even the discount food store, and you can buy a tub of burrata or stracciatella di burrata, which is just the inside of burrata. Like
Did
it's
you
that.
just bust some? All right. All right.
I did learn Italian when I was there.
Flexion.
She
All
speaks
right.
fluent Italian.
No, I don't.
You
I don't
guys.
speak fluent.
That's awesome.
But it's like the inside, it's like soft and just creamy and gooey, and then it's just like the best thing you've ever tasted, and it's so cheap. Or it's like regular food, right,
Yeah.
to them, but you buy the stuff in the store, and it's like 10,000 times better what you would buy off the deli in Whole Foods. It's
Oh,
so
my
good.
goodness.
It's so good. Yeah. Okay, maybe
Wow.
Italy, and they have a lot of gluten. I'm mostly gluten free, so they have a lot of like substitutes to accommodate for people who are gluten free.
Yeah.
So that's kind of nice.
So let's go back to America real quick. So, because Jason and I talked about this, because one of the questions that we want to ask you is, obviously you've been traveling in California for quite some time now. And one of the biggest complaints, I wouldn't say complaints, but concern, I would say, amongst travelers is that coming to California can be so freaking expensive.
Yeah.
So how do you manage your finances and have been able to save so much money. Because, girl, I know we talk about your bank account. You know what I mean?
You're the only
Like,
person to talk about my bank account.
yeah, we're
with.
not going to go there. But, you know, you've been very successful about how you manage your money and finances while living in one of the most expensive zip codes in America.
While traveling to all these different countries.
Right.
mind you,
Yeah.
So
I mean, so first off, if you're, you know, talking about housing, it is expensive out here. I think I've gotten by just by like having roommates, or finding a roommate, taking residence in a place that's not super expensive, that, you know, just ticks all
so
the
not
boxes.
Karen friendly.
Definitely not Karen Lay
You
style.
guys, come on. Why y'all gotta call me out like that?
Hey, come on, just embrace the bougie.
No, it's okay. It's
all
okay.
good.
Leanne and I travel very differently. Let's just put it that way.
Yeah, very different.
But go ahead, Leanne.
But yeah, taking an apartment or renting a room from someone who has a house or already has an apartment, that's not, you know, I mean, I would say like I found places like under 1,000, and if you're just renting a room, but you have a room, you have a bathroom, maybe there's a washer, you got a parking, like.
Didn't you pay that in like West Hollywood?
Yeah, I did.
Where'd you find it?
It's possible.
It was like all utilities included.
know,
It was
but,
through
like-
friends. It was through friends.
Okay.
Like
Okay.
friends
Through
of
people.
friends. Yeah,
So
through people.
networking and stuff.
Yeah, because I'm a woman and I don't want to like, you know, be housed with some random
stuff.
random
Right.
person. So it's always through friends or, yeah, I'm through friends.
Okay, I have a question about housing. Furnish Finder, Airbnb, Rent.com, Zillow. Those are all a lot of places that I know a lot of nurses use, travel nurses use to find housing. Have you stayed in any of those before?
I actually haven't, just because I've only like found it through friends.
You found it
And
through
like,
friends?
and when I did stay, I would stay for a while. And my assignments would like move,
Right.
but I would just like commute or something, because it was worth it for me to have like a place where I only paid like $1,000 a month, and then I was like banking everything else.
So you were able to find a place to stay for $1,000 a month in this super scary, intimidating place that they call LA.
They didn't have a lot of bells and whistles, but it was, you know, it was a comfortable place. It
location
was
was,
safe.
yeah,
It was
clean.
It was clean. Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
Where you can also get to surfing, because I know you're into surfing.
Yeah, I mean, that I will say I lived in like kind of the border of West Hollywood, lived in Silver Lake, and that's kind of a hike to get out.
Right.
You know, you can probably find some, maybe make some friends, see who has like a place, and just talk. I just talk with a lot of people and then kind of send feelers out, like text, hey, if you know someone who's like renting a room or renting a house, you know,
Right.
that sort of thing. And then to piggyback to what you were saying about traveling, I play the points game, so that's how I travel a lot.
Oh, we
You
gotta
mean
have a
your-
topic on that one later.
Yeah.
Like
that's a whole.
she preached to me about credit cards
For
and
a
points
long time.
for the longest time.
Actually,
And I would just roll my eyes. I'm like, whatever.
I think I recall actually when that began.
Oh,
You
re-
do.
oh
Yeah.
my gosh.
We
So
used to sit right by each other
you guys, we've
when
been
that,
around for
that
a
was
while.
happening.
And in the beginning, you
Around
would
for a
like
while.
be
Should've took
annoyed
more
at me.
notes.
I was so annoyed of her. But you know what? Listen, I just went to Europe this past June, and majority of that trip was paid for on points.
And you didn't stay in like dumpy places. You
No,
stayed at some
I
really,
stayed
nice,
at really
places.
nice places. So
Yeah, we know Karen.
well, we'll talk about that. I mean, yo,
We know her
back.
style. We know her
Please,
style.
you guys,
Yes.
this is
yes.
bullying.
No, it's not. It's not. It's
We're
it's
just
like I said, embrace it.
admiring
You remember
your-
the caviar. I would never
We're
forget it.
admiring
Oh
your
my gosh.
lifestyle.
Okay, one last question. What 3 big advice would you give to a brand new traveler that is interested or maybe kind of
On
on
the
the
fence.
border of, you know,
Like trying to
decide?
Do it. Why not? Just try it. You can not always go back to your job, but try to make a way back for your job or be on per diem or something. Because sometimes if you're on staff for a while, like managers if they love you, they'll want you to stay on per diem. So I would say just try it. I would say be flexible. Do not go into, and this is, I swear I've seen some travel nurses do this. Go into a new place and tell them, oh yeah, well they did it like this at so and so at this such and such hospital, or what about this? Like, I saw one nurse like say this to a manager, and I was like, oh, like they have
Did she
their
get
way.
extended?
I don't know. Maybe.
That's my next question.
But yeah, just try to be flexible. Like know your practice, know your scope of practice, but also know that every place does something different, and they'll always kind of do it in almost the same avenue, but just maybe not the same like little details. So just try to find out what their little details are and be flexible to that, because that's going to help you be basically kind of more likable.
Right.
Ask questions even if staff members look at you like you're crazy, because I would always say, I know how to do this, it's just that I've been to many different hospitals and everybody does it just a little bit differently, so this is why I'm like asking you this.
So communicating is really important, obviously.
Yeah, communicating is really important. Don't brown nose, but get on the good side of your manager. It can help you out in the future for future contracts to stay in touch, like get their email. Be flexible, be a good worker. Don't just be on your phone all the time, like, because that happens in some nursing like pods where you sit down. Offer yourself for help, but it's helped me get future contracts, like to go back to some place, because either charge nurses remember me, or the staff remembers me, or the managers remember me. And then sometimes I'll send a message out. I've done this to you a couple times. I've been like, hey, this manager from so and so, like, they want me back, and it makes your job easier, right?
So easy, you guys.
Awesome. Awesome. Great for you. Great for everybody.
Yeah. So be flexible. Be a efficient and strong worker. And then take care of you. I know it's like such a overly used word now, but
so important.
Do that self-care.
Yeah.
I highly recommend therapy, especially just because it's helpful. It's helpful to have someone to talk to about like what's going on at work. Help you manage your emotions so that you don't take those emotions back to work. That you can be like on top of your game, because essentially, like, this is a part of your career, but this is the means to the end.
Right.
For me, I fully believe in, like, obviously being patient care, being a great nurse, but even if it's a means to the end, I still want to show up and do a good job.
Right.
And if I'm not taking care of myself, then I really can't do that, and patients suffer.
Yeah.
Right.
So
yeah. Here's my question. Probably my last question.
Okay.
So when you're thinking about someone new and they like the job that they're at, they're happy with the assignment, what are some of the keys to getting them to extend, or for them to like you enough to not just say that they're cool with you, but to actually help you get an extension to stick around?
So I think this goes beyond just like your nursing skill, of course, quality of your nursing care. But I also think this goes beyond just your skill set, and it's more of like the people skills. And it's adapting and really diving into their work culture, because every place has a different work culture, right? Like every company has a different work culture. Every unit has a different work culture. You can go from unit to unit in some hospitals, and a lot of things are the same, but the way people communicate and the way things are done are just a little different.
Right.
So if you can pick up on those little things, like, I get it all the time in the place where I'm at, like, the nurses will say, you're just one of us now, and if you can make them feel like you're one of them, that gives you a better foot in the door for like an extension.
Absolutely.
Nice. Excellent.
She plays it really smart, and We appreciate you so much, Liane. I
Yes.
appreciate you
Yeah,
I
so-
appreciate
on my payroll.
everyone epic.
So here's before we get out of here, just so you guys know, Leanne's not just a nurse; she is also a DJ. So if you need anybody for your party on the ones and twos, let us know. But you also can reach us on Instagram. You can reach Karen. Karen, what's your IG handle? Let them know.
It's Nurse Recruiter KLE.
Yes, and mine, Jason, is RN_recruiter_CA on Instagram. I'm not a big Facebook guy, so Instagram is where you can find me the most, or on here on our podcast. And season episode 2.
Yeah.
Thanks
Locked
for having
in.
me.
Thanks,
Thank you
Liane,
so
for coming
much.
through.
Thank you for
being our first guest.
First, guest number 1. That's right.
We'll probably
Yeah.
bring her back for talk about the points. She'll lecture all you guys.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Oh,
About
and
that one.
financial security too.
No, for sure.
Your girl
Financial
in
security.
us pretty soon is gonna be licensed to be a life insurance.
No way.
Yeah, agent.
You
Building
guys,
that wealth. You know
she
what I mean?
surprises me every
Gotta
day.
build that wealth.
Every day. This is what we do. All right. So until next time, we'll see you guys soon.
Peace.